How many airplanes, like large aircraft, have you been on in your life? I've been on a few.
Me personally, not too many. Probably a handful of times, realistically for me.
Okay, that's good. When you're up in the air, do you ever think, what if the pilot is suicidal? Have you ever had that thought? I've never had that thought in my life until I just watched this video. What if your pilot is suicidal? Have you ever thought of that? Why don't we ever talk about this more? Even like...
That's all it takes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? In China, I hate to break it to you people. In China, it happened just recently. We're going to watch this video, and we're going to try to... I don't know, man. What happened here? Freaking 132 people died.
But they say it's pilot error?
No, they say it's intentional. Pilot, he crashed the plane. Like, you're freaking pilot, bro.
But isn't that easy to say, too, also? Like, if you're the government and you don't want to say the plane crashed because the plane was faulty?
I thought you might say that, and I'm glad that you did.
Yeah.
Because in this video, they're going to explain to you how it couldn't have been pilot error or something like that, just because of the way the plane went down. Because they get the yellow box out of it and stuff. They can see all the flight control, like what happened. They know what happened.
But you're still taking their information and like they're telling you. They could say anything.
No, because it got caught on video.
Oh, okay.
The plane going down got caught on video. Yeah. Oh, blew your mind, didn't I? All right, let's listen to this.
Watch this, guys.
Yeah, watch this.
And girls.
Speaking of which,
men.
What do you guys think about my shirt? I'm representing for Jeep people all over the world. I was a Jeep people in those last few videos. I was a Jeep people because I had just a goatee. Now I grow my beard back. I'm no longer a Jeep person, all right? You people don't understand. See, when I shaved off my beard, everybody's like, you look so ugly. Grow it back. Well, you don't understand how itchy this thing is, okay? You bastards.
There will be a day when beards won't be a thing anymore. The thing will be shaving your beard. Think about that.
I think we already went through that time period.
There will be another period,
back in the beard period, though. At least for my face, because I have a freaking trashy... I hate my face.
Well, it's because you got used to what you look like.
Yeah,
if you'd shave all the time, like that's what
true.
You would be used to, right?
Yeah, you're right. 100%. And that's what I'm going to try to do this summer. So don't get used to this, because I'm going to shave it off after we're done with this video. Hate to break it to y'all.
I'm just lazy. Like, I eventually have to shave it because like my face hair doesn't like grow in the way it should. So it makes me mad. So I just have to shave it off eventually.
Use Rogaine on your face. I did that for a while. Rogaine works, bro. Minoxidil, they call it. All right. Am I recording? Yes, you guys can see my screen. We're going to play this video. Hopefully we can hear it. And we're going to find out why this pilot crashed this aircraft on purpose.
Prepared to have your mind blown.
Tricks. Let's take this seriously, though, right? I mean, people died. 132 people died.
Yeah.
I don't think we can necessarily joke too much about it. I'm not going to play the whole video either. We'll pause it at a certain point, and then we'll talk about it. Hello? You want to play? Like, what is this? What nonsense is happening?
Man, they're attacking into our internet.
This morning, we're finally learning what may have caused that mysterious plane crash in China. Its final moments, that nosedive like a missile to the ground, captured on camera, killing 132 people. Now in a story first reported by the Wall Street Journal, ABC News confirming that U.S. officials believe one of the pilots intentionally crashed the 737.
This is exactly what we feared. There's no way a Boeing 737 can come out of the sky by itself the way this one did.
Officials say the landing gear was never deployed and the flaps weren't engaged. Clues that the plane was not trying to land after an emergency. And that near vertical descent, pointing to deliberate force. That rapid descent began at 29,000 feet. The plane plunging to 8,000 feet appears to level off, then plunges again.
There was no attempt to bring the engines back to idle to try to slow this down. those pieces, to me, caused me to lean more towards the criminal intent side.
China Eastern Airlines reportedly saying it has not found any evidence of a mechanical problem with the plane. U.S. officials also telling us investigators looked into the personal life and background of one of the pilots, who we're told was relatively young, a veteran pilot by his side. They believe the younger pilot may have been struggling through undisclosed issues right before the crash, putting a spotlight on pilot mental health. In 2015, the co-pilot on a German Wings flight locked the other pilot.
Okay,
but yeah, that's what I'm saying. What happened to the other pilot? Like, why didn't he stop him?
well, we haven't heard the cockpit recordings yet to know, like, what happened, because it could have been that...
He would have to take the other guy out, right?
Yeah, it could have been that he took him out, because you noticed when the plane went, it said they were at like 28,000 feet or whatever, and then they came down to 8,000 and it leveled off. That might have been the other pilot, like, trying to fix the situation, and they might have been fighting and whatever in the cockpit, because then the younger guy won, I'm assuming, because then they went back into that nosedive and crashed. 132 people on board.
I have another theory.
Let's hear it.
You know, everything is very, I don't want to say it. Media, computers, everything now. What if somebody hacked into the plane and purposely crashed the plane?
Oh! Damn.
Did you ever think about that?
No, I didn't.
Because I feel like with the planes these days and like the technology we have, I feel like that's a possibility. What if you could control it from like a computer at home? And the guy like messed with him. He's like, gonna level it out. Again. Just to like make them like fear it even more.
You know what?
I'm not saying that's what happened. But, I mean, it's a possibility, right?
Yeah, that's a strong... I don't know.
Think about like the things that are possible these days. Like everything is very technology orientated. Like
right.
The planes can fly themselves. So you're using a computer, and I believe there's a way you could probably hack into that plane. I bet there's a way.
That is interesting, and I never even considered that. But hopefully, because this happened in May.
Yeah.
So what is that? Is that this month or last month?
And the way
Last
that plane
month.
was going down, there's no way that black box has even anything left of it.
Oh, no. Those things are indestructible, bro.
Are they, though?
Yeah, pretty much. Those are like the most, like, indestructible boxes you're ever going to find. They can withstand jet fuel. They can withstand depths in the ocean, like crazy feet in the ocean, like pressure, all this stuff. But, yeah, I didn't think about somebody remote controlling the damn plane. All right, you're introducing some theories that I don't like, Skis.
Why?
No, I don't like, man. I'd like to hit my gavel at this time.
It's a possibility, right?
Well, okay, but first of all, let's take a commercial break. BTG Squad brought to you by Kombucha. Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh, snap.
Let's take this seriously.
Yeah.
132 people did die.
That sucks, but I'm just introducing different theories to the situation.
Right. Let's imagine that didn't happen. Let's say the pilot did kill all these people, which is what all the evidence seems to point to, and what all of the officials, like the air officials investigating the NTSB, I think, something like that. That's what everybody seems to think happened, that he was maybe dealing with some depression or mental problems, and he crashed this plane on purpose. You never think about that. When you're on an aircraft, I've always thought on an aircraft, your biggest issue that you're ever going to encounter is, engine malfunction. Like something happens to the aircraft. You never think, there's two people up there controlling this thing. What if they don't want to live anymore? You're
in the hands of those people.
Yeah. And it happens. I'm surprised it doesn't happen more often with like bus drivers or train operators. Like, aren't those guys suffering with depression too? Like,
thing is, the trains, like, I get the train thing, but like, what's the odds it's actually going to have a chance to hit another train before like the people that watch the trains can like shut it down? I'm assuming they can shut those down.
You think trains can be remotely? I know
I'm
zero
assuming
about.
by now they can.
Really? Probably, yeah.
I would think so.
I don't know anything about trains.
I'm assuming the technology we have these days, like, if it's not a thing, it should be.
Right. it should be for aircraft too. Now that I'm watching this,
That they could remotely control them. Yeah.
but it's also a huge problem because of what you said earlier. What if it can be remotely controlled?
then somebody else can hack into
Right.
it. Yeah.
Somebody can hack it and fly it into the ground as well as control it to safety or whatever else. Like, I don't know where to draw the line at, but I know this much. Like I said, I've never thought when I'm on an aircraft, I'm always looking out the window going, God, I hope the motor doesn't quit, or something stupid. It never even crossed my brain that the pilot up front might just want to kill us all. Like, that's a horrible thing.
Isn't there usually, well, I know for sure there's at least 2, but isn't a lot of times there's 3?
Yeah, like a Boeing 747 might have like 3 or even 4 people in the cockpit. These 737s, I think these 737s have only 2, as far as I know. And this was a Boeing 737. Yeah, it was a 737 flying from, I'm not even going to try, flying from one place to the other on March 21st when it plunged into a mountainous area in China, killing all 132 people. So it was a 737. I think 737s have, and you guys are like, how do you know? Like, what are you talking about, Jared? How do you know about 737s and 747s? When I was younger, I used to play this game called Microsoft Flight Simulator. Aircraft, so I would fly these airplanes all around, and you could see like how many seats were in the plane. You could look around the cockpit and stuff. And I've watched videos of like pilots flying. Like, I've flown little aircraft before myself. Like, with a pilot, he's let me like land it and stuff. Like an actual little like Cessna I've flown before. But yeah, sometimes there's 3 guys or maybe 4 in the cockpit depending on how big it is. But these 737s, I'm pretty sure it's just 2. And that, like they said, he was with a veteran pilot, an older guy, which he probably, when they level, that's why in the beginning I was like, when they leveled out at 8,000, that was probably the older guy fighting him, and he might have won. Like the younger, he obviously did win.
Or the older guy could have wanted to die too, though. Think
Well,
about that.
yeah, that's true. But they seem to know because I think they've already listened to the voice recorder. I'm not sure. When they listen to the voice recorder.
I don't know why they always have to recover a black box. You think that, like the things going on too would just like, you think there would just be a thing in there, like a microphone, that like automatically records it back to like somewhere else?
That's the black box. It records everything they're
Why
saying.
do they always have to find it? Why can't it just automatically direct the talking to like a computer and you can like boop and pull it up?
Well, because when you're in the air, like the signals don't always work like that. This is probably a more reliable
but you're also
way.
closer to the satellite.
you
would think like that would make more sense.
Yeah, you're in the damn air. That's true. I don't know. Did you watch 9/11, The New Pearl Harbor? I know that you didn't. So in 9/11, The New Pearl Harbor, it was a documentary about, put that up on the screen because I really want people to watch that documentary. It was a documentary about why 9/11 and those planes crashing into the towers might not have been hijackers and terrorists from the Taliban or whatever, like the Middle East, like, but those people in that documentary did a very in-depth like study on, because there were passengers supposedly on those planes as they were getting flown into like the towers or the Pentagon, or when that one crashed in Pennsylvania, I think it was Pennsylvania. But passengers were calling their family members and like telling them goodbye, I love you, and all this stuff. And they did a really in-depth study at those altitudes and at that stuff on like the same exact spots where those planes were at, and the year, not to mention the year that this all happened, like how shady reception was and stuff. And they were like, there's no way these people were making these phone calls up in the air. Like the signal would have never got through. So for something like this, I don't know, with planes flying all over, we would think, yeah, it'd be, you're closer to the satellite and everything. You should have great reception. But apparently it doesn't really work that way from airplanes.
It's like 7 years newer now. They might have stuff nowadays.
They might, yeah. I don't know, dude. Either way, the black box records everything that happens, and it records audio of in the cockpit, and then they can just retrieve the box and get all that stuff.
Oh, this just I'm reading, sorry, my bad. It says 2015, but that was they were talking about the other thing that happened.
That was a
the
different
plane just
flight.
crashed recently.
Yeah, this China flight crashed on March 21st, I believe. Yeah, March 21st of 2022.
Oh, okay, so that's a while ago yet, but
It's like a couple,
couple
months?
months. Yeah, I just assumed it was new. Like,
Well, I mean, still pretty new.
yeah. But they still haven't found the black box since then?
That's
Did you
what,
check in?
I'm gonna do an update. We might do an update video on this
Yeah.
if they find the black box and like get everything sorted out and come out. If they actually tell us what actually happened,
They just like swept it under the rug.
I don't know. It's China. You know, what can you do? But that's just never something you think about. And the pilots are locked in the cockpit. You can't, like, if you suspect them of being, like, shady, you can't go in the cockpit and, like, hey, like, we need to subdue this guy. Like, we're going to take over the... No, that's not even an option. That's like a bulletproof room they're in. Like, you can't even get in to fix the problem if you're going to die like this.
I also have another interesting theory.
About this crash?
Yeah.
What?
You need like I wonder what like the manifest is on the plane, like who was on the plane. Maybe
Why?
they wanted somebody gone.
Oh, snap.
And they were on the plane.
Appreciate that you said that. Because I don't believe in 9/11.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to say
But maybe
that.
there was like people politically or something flying
Yeah,
on this
yeah,
plane
yeah.
and someone wanted them gone.
I think you're right. I think in a lot of situations of weird well,
You don't believe in 9/11 at all? Like as far as the conspiracy stuff?
here's what I'll say.
I know that there's there's another building that was also destroyed that wasn't the Twin Towers, that was also right next to the buildings.
Yeah.
That had a lot of very interesting information in it, and supposedly some people wanted it gone.
Yes. There were so many shady
There's like a
things.
CIA building like right next to the Twin Towers.
Dude, there were so many shady things about 9/11. I can't even.
And then the
it's,
Pentagon video, right?
yeah, there was no plane that. I want to say this on record.
That's not a plane.
There was no plane that crashed into the Pentagon. It never happened. And I hate to break this to all of you people, because here's what I want to say. If I respect the hell out of all of our servicemen and women, the soldiers, I respect them immensely, more than anything that I can even say. And I respect all the sacrifices that they made in going over to the Middle East and dealing with problems for us that we think happened. But I, especially after watching that documentary, because they use facts and they use video footage, they used real genuine evidence, and no one has ever, as far as I know, disproven anything that was put out in that the 9/11, the new Pearl
Except that
Harbor
they just
video.
call them conspiracy theorists. Once
Right.
you're labeled, you're labeled. It makes it so easy.
But this was no conspiracy video. There was nothing. They didn't come up with any theories in the 9/11, the new Pearl Harbor video. They just literally showed us all the footage and everything that we already all know, and they showed you how it was not possible that it happened that specific way. Even video evidence, they went through it meticulously.
I'm sure they went by how the buildings fell to the point too.
Everything.
Right?
Yeah, you can see on camera explosions coming out of the sides of the towers before,
From the bottom, right?
yeah, before or right after the plane hit. You can see and people,
How
even
do
fire.
buildings fall from the bottom straight down?
Right, it's
when it's hit up top.
It's called a controlled demolition, and it's done many times in everyday construction work. It's called a controlled demolition, and that's what happened to the Twin Towers. And if you watch that documentary, you're not gonna think I'm insane. But here's what I'll say about 9/11. I don't want to call myself like I don't believe, because of how much I respect our soldiers and everything that they've given to sacrifice for this specific, like what this all led to. But I'll just say this. There is some serious doubt in my mind about what actually happened on 9/11. And I just can't say yes or no. I can't, but there's some serious doubt in my mind. Please go watch that documentary. Put it back up on the screen right there.
I'll have to check it out. I haven't watched it yet, but I will.
Oh my
I'm into
God.
that stuff, so I'll watch it for
It's
sure.
such a mind-blowing documentary. You'll see. But anyway, I don't know what before we end this, like what do you there's no advice we can give people to say, like, if your pilot wants to kill everybody, you're just effed.
What's
Hate
his
to
social
break it.
credit score? But the bad thing is, like, I know, like, China and Japan, they have a very high suicidal rate. Their people are because they're very pushed into, like schooling. Like Japan has, like, a whole forest, right? where like people go to like commit suicide.
Yeah.
Like then they say it's like haunted and all that.
Yeah.
You know, but it's interesting to, but you never know. I mean, anybody. I mean, it could happen in the U.S. too. I mean,
Right.
think about the way people are. It just, I mean, like you said, it's in your hands or in those people's hands, basically. Yeah. And the airline's trusting these people, but it doesn't matter. I mean, the guy could have shown no symptoms, and he could have just had a really crappy day, and he's like, I'm ending it right now. And no one would have been like, man, I knew that guy. He's an outstanding guy. He's a great guy. I never saw this coming. Like, a lot of people hide stuff.
Yeah.
So they're not going to tell anybody, you know, they're going to, because they're a man. They got to fight through it, and like, you're required to like not tell people, and like, you know, and people, if you do tell someone you're weak, or like, you got to blow it off, right? Or you got to do this. As a man, you got to be a man. And some people, and so they like, if they should tell somebody, they still don't.
That is true too. Yeah, a lot of men deal with that. You can't tell people that you're struggling. You got to be tough. And I don't know, to a certain extent, I believe that this world needs men to be tough. We got enough men in this country. I'll edit that out. We got enough like men in this country who don't have a spine or a freaking nutsack, who won't like be
but at
tough.
the same time, some of those people maybe need to talk about something.
Exactly. Certain people, if you feel like you're the kind of individual that might do something like shoot up a school,
you're gonna crash a plane,
or crash a plane with 132 people on board, like, if you're going to go to that point, that you should really talk to somebody. Like, if you're just a normal guy and you're struggling with depression, like, to a certain extent, I think it's okay and it's acceptable to just suck it up and man up. But if you're to the point where I'm going to go start killing people, you need to go talk to somebody.
You need some help, man.
Yeah, don't do that. Like, now you've gone too far, okay?
you passed that point.
Yeah, you're past the point of being tough and being a man that we need in this country. You're a liability now, and you're going to really cause some damage to a lot of people. So that's a problem.
And I seen it today. Like, even I was telling you, I went and got new tires on my pickup.
Yeah.
And I had to break. Like, I told you the whole story, but worst comes worst, they couldn't get my back tires off. And I said, if I can do it, will you put my 2 tires on for me? Because I want all 4 tires. And they're like, yeah. And like, he said it like, oh, he can't do it. And then I took it. So I straight up took his man card today.
He manned it.
I took his man card, and I saw it on his face when we got the truck back in. Because like, hey, and I wasn't even being a dick. Like, I was like, hey, here's your wrench. I was like, thanks, man. Like, I want to get my tires on. Like, I'm just trying to help.
Right.
He's like, he looked all depressed in his face. He's like, just put it over there. Like, he's mad. Hey, I get maybe the point, too. I was making him work harder. But at the same time, I think it's because I took his man card.
Yeah.
Like, he couldn't do it. I did it. And, like, the person was there was like, he did it. And, like, he's mad that he couldn't do it.
Hey,
know?
hit the gym. You told me this guy was fat as hell, right?
Well, he's a big guy. Yeah.
Stop being fat. Stop being weak. You don't understand. And I've done this. I'm guilty of this 100%. Skipping the gym for months or whatever, and eventually you go back and you realize just how weak you have gotten. Up to that point, you think you're still strong. You know? You convince yourself, I'm okay. I haven't slacked that much. I'm still tough. You're not. You'd be surprised how much, like serious strength you lose if you slack off in the gym like that. So this guy, he's a fat, I'm just going to say it straight out. He's a fat, like, I'm not going to call him a piece of trash. He's just fat, and he's lazy, and he couldn't do what you did. And I don't know if you guys caught what Errol said in tail. He went to get his tires changed. At the freaking tire shop, they couldn't get the lug nuts off of his 2 back tires at the tire shop. So he pulled his truck.
Yeah, it's their job.
Yeah, he pulled his truck out of the shop and by hand loosened the lug nuts on his tires and sent it back into the shop so they could fix it. Like, that should never happen. It's unbelievable to me. I couldn't
and then I gotta pay you yet?
Yeah, and then
like, you better take some money off.
Should have been a discount on this.
Right?
That guy for sure lost his man car, and there's nothing wrong with that. I agree with that. Some men, you need a reality check like that, okay? You shouldn't be fat, first of all. You should have been in the gym, okay? I mean,
I felt bad afterwards, though, because I was like, I know what you're saying, but like, I didn't, and I did. I was like, man, I was like, but that guy needs to like, I mean, this is his job.
Good. Maybe that'll be a reality check for him.
It's like, well, it's only supposed to be torque some. I don't know. I don't believe stories people tell me either. I feel like he was just lazy
Probably.
at the same time.
Probably.
It's like, how are you going to change my 2 front tires? For one thing, it's a pickup, which is rear-wheel drive. You're going to change my 2 front tires and then expect me to take my old tires that are on the back still and drive this thing. It's like, well, if you were going to change 2, I'd prefer it to be the rear tires.
Freaking idiots.
It's like, no, I still need them rotated even if I was going to do it because I was like, ugh, whatever, I'm frustrated, but I was like, no. And then I was like, I had to think of a situation. I was like, okay, if I can do it, you're going to put my tires on.
Yeah.
And I did it.
Unreal, man. That's inexcusable to me and shameful to those people at that tire shop. Walmart, by the way. Shameful.
Yeah. Shameful for me to go to Walmart.
Well,
I mean, you go where, you know,
you thought you were getting a good deal. It's
Yeah.
understandable.
I mean, I still did as far as the price of the tires. But, I mean, how about you just sell me the tires and let me use your shop and I'll put the tires on?
Yeah. Let me do.
Why is that not a thing? Like, let
Dude.
me use your lift and, like, your shop. I'll do all the work myself. Just charge me for the tires.
Nah, man. They need to be professional and charge you for a half an hour.
Them guys obviously aren't professional because they don't even know their job.
You know. Well, I mean, that's
I just know if it's me and I worked there, I sure as hell would have figured it out.
right.
Because I'm not going to let somebody else come in. I'm not going to be, unless the only thing I would not do is if I was worried I was going to break something on their vehicle. But I'd be like, nah, I'm getting these off.
Yeah. Like, what are you going to break on the
Even
lug
if they were
nut?
like rusted on, they make, I know goes off, okay, off key, but they make a spray you can put on stuff that's rusted and you let it soak in.
Yeah,
And it breaks
penetrating
it.
oils.
Yeah. So, but anyways, off topic. I know it's all off topic.
That's what
Don't
this
crash a
show's all
plane.
about.
Watch out for your pilots. This is BTG Squad. You heard it from us first. Maybe not. I don't know. But we're giving it to you. Let us know what you think.
That's right.
We're out. This is BTG Squad out. Cue the music.
The music has been cued.
I'm Errol. This is Jared. We're BTG Squad.
We're BTG Squad Tricks.
Get
Watch.
us out there. Help
Yeah.
us out, people.
Help us out. Share this video. Subscribe to the show. Like it. Comment. Let us know what you think. If you think we're idiots, please just tell us.
Yeah.
I'd appreciate to hear
Yeah.
your thoughts.
We don't care. We want to hear either way.
All right.
We'll have fun with it.
That's right. Peace out.
Peace.
Where are the aliens? Maybe they're among us. I don't know.